mean, I'd love to know a little bit about the build process on this. Do you have a hardware background? It sounds like you didn't, from what you just kind of said. How did all that come across? Like, how did you? So your friend came up to you and said,
Mm-hmm.
essentially, Andre, build me this thing, or find me this thing. You couldn't find it, and you're like, hey, I'll build it for you. And then, and what happened from there?
So he asked, and he didn't say build it for me, but
Yeah.
I just thought that can't be that hard. And yeah, and I think if you are a hardware engineer, which I am not,
Yeah.
then it won't be very hard. It's a very simple product in the sense of, but if you go into details like making a circuit and doing like having enough power for the Wi-Fi and the spike of the Wi-Fi power and all these things, I know these in theory because I have an engineering degree background, but I'm working in IT since 8 years, so for 8 years now, and no hardware. What I could build then was I bought myself one of these dev boards, ESP8266 was it at the time, and I connected a couple of optocouplers, so things I found on the internet how this could work, and built myself hand soldered a prototype and just validated if it would work what I had in mind. And yes, that worked, even though only the half of the board worked because my soldering is not that great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So how do you get it? How do you build this now? So this is like is it just you have your design, you send it to whatever PCB manufacturer, and then do you assemble it? Do they assemble it? How does the shipping work? How does all that stuff happen?
So let's go in order. I had the hand soldered prototype, but that didn't work quite fondly enough and didn't look great. Then I created a board with the PCB design software. It's from JAC PCB. I think it's called Easy EDA. You can do it in your browser. It's relatively simple. And I made just a board where you connect one of these VMOS D1 minis, and that's it. That was for hand soldering. So I also did a couple of hand soldering sessions and stopped my time with it to see how long does it take. And first of all, I didn't enjoy the 1 hour. And second of all, it was just 5 pieces. So no way that's something I want to do at home.
Yeah.
But I got a couple of them working, sent them out to friends and family and a few people which follow me on my blog and also wanted to have one. Also from the Netherlands, because some way around Netherlands is the most enthusiastic home assistant community, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's at least what I perceive.
Yeah.
And then I was about to create a new version with an external antenna, because these VMOS D1 minis usually have that small PCB onboard antenna, but as we always said, PC case, metal, no reception. And then I bought one of those which have an external antenna to validate how is the signal strength actually better, because I know that cable length and stuff like that also has like impedance, and therefore it will weaken the signal as well compared to having it inside. I just want to test it. And the thing is, at that point, I hated the project because you had to desolder a small resistor to a different place so that you can activate the external antenna. So you have to basically hardwire it. I got my hot air gun, which tried it, and the hot air didn't only warm up just that one component I needed to change. No, it of course warmed the whole board up and blew all the pieces around my floor. Yeah, and I tried this, I think 3, 4, 5 times, and then I scratched the project. I was so frustrated. Yeah, that was kind of my building journey. But I scratched it. People kept asking about it. People just emailed me and commented on my blog about it. And when the number hit 100 people asking for it, I'm just like, okay, let's just do it. And then I hired someone on one of these platforms. I think it was Upwork, to make it more professional.
That's cool. So they then send you the design files and for this PCB, and then you can get that manufactured, I'm guessing. Like how?
the process was like this. So I had a really clear picture of what it looked like in my mind, right? So the dimensions, even the thickness, because PC you have like, if you have a USB 2.0 header, you have most likely second one next to it. So it's not allowed to be too wide and also not too thick, because then it will interfere with PCIe slots, whatever. So I had written down like a really good specification, and in my opinion, and then I think I created like what's it called? You just upload this, and then people will just apply to it like a regular job, and you then go through the applications and choose your winner in this case. And this person I chose, had a look good to me, and we started working together for a couple of months until I had the prototype. And that prototype was then basically just files which you could send to JLC PCB, PCB, whatever PCB manufacturer, and you will get the whole product or the PCB. Yeah.
So they send it to you manufactured fully and all that. Yeah, that's great.
Then I had, of course, to do the compatibility checking with the software. I had to adjust the SP home settings because different pins were used and things like that, the small details. But figured it out, at least after some time. Yeah. And then I had basically a working piece of hardware, which I thought I could sell already. But of course, I was wrong on that side. And then I had to, because there are a lot of things like Wi-Fi certification, CE certification, and like radio always needs like frequency certifications regarding if is there any noise coming from that device. So all these things, these are still open questions to this day. But the good thing is what I could do with that prototype is I could apply it to a crowd supply. Crowd supply is kind of like Kickstarter, but for hardware projects and less sketchy, let's say it that way. They don't accept a lot of projects. 80% of the applicants will be like withdrawn because there's no point in doing it. And they accepted then the project at some point in time, which I was very glad of.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, that was super cool. And after accepting, and one of the acceptance criteria was actually to have a working prototype. And that's also a difference between Kickstarter, I guess. Because on Kickstarter, you can create a video, a really nice marketing campaign, without even having anything.